Take's got the toe jams going, working the roadcaster with his feet. Welcome back, everybody, to our Buying a House in Japan podcast. This is our first video podcast, actually. Congratulations, Take. We made it to our first video round.
We're pros now. Mika was very impressed with our setup, right?
Yeah. So professional.
I'm impressed with our setup. Like, look at this. This is...
Yeah.
We have been on a string of podcasts with special guests. Today is no exception. We are joined by our Akiya Mart preferred agent, Mika. She's a seasoned real estate agent, and we're actually in her family's hometown at the moment. Aikawa, Nagasaki. Welcome, Mika.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're super thankful for we're actually recording in Mika's grandma's living room right now. So in the background we can see Mika's told us some good stories. She used to climb this little wooden structure behind us. There's a couple Pokemon stickers from her. How does it feel to be recording a podcast in your grandma's living room right now?
It's so bizarre. But I'm really happy that this worked out. It's a lot of memories, and I'm making even more memories here.
When was the last time your family used this house? Was it quite recently, or had it been unused for a while?
My aunt and uncle, they lived here until probably last month. Yeah, so it was used, but when I used it was when my grandma passed away, and everyone gathered here and prayed, and it was the last time I used and stayed for a little bit. I brought my 2 dogs, and it was a whole family. Yeah.
Well, the 2 dogs came.
2 dogs. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trippy situation here, huh? We never, a year ago, I don't think you would have ever thought we would be recording a podcast with us.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's just not
unexpected.
I can't believe it's real.
So when did you move to, you're now living in Tokyo. When did you leave Nagasaki and move to Tokyo?
I moved into Tokyo in 2019 in summer for a different job, airport job.
You used to work at Narita?
No,
Haneda?
I used to work in Haneda.
Oh.
What kind of job?
Yeah.
It's called ground stuff.
Ground staff.
Okay. Were you doing the
No.
stuff,
it's not that ground. It's check-in and the gate service. It was super boring. But I did that job for maybe less than a year.
Sometimes I see the same people when you're checking in your bag and then they're at the gate. Is that how it works? You're there first checking in people, and then at a certain time you're like, okay, gotta go to the gate.
Yeah. We need to run and run, look for passengers and shout.
Oh no. So okay, you grew up in this neighborhood, right? And
not really in this neighborhood, but my parents, my parents did. Sorry, my mom did.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up maybe 20 minutes away from here. Yeah, it's a little newer neighborhood. Yeah, still really countryside.
And then where did you learn English? You're probably out of all our agents, I think you have the best English.
Yay. I studied English in school, in university for 4 years, but it was just exam, TOEIC English. And I had to go abroad to study for at least a month, just a study program. I wasn't really interested in English, but when I went to Australia for 5 weeks, it was really, really fun. It was my first time going abroad, and everything was so fresh. And that's when I started studying English seriously. Yeah, and I went to Canada afterwards for a year and a half. Yeah, and then I started working in real estate for foreigners. I think that's when I improved the most. Yeah.
Interesting. How did you get into real estate? It sounds like you're working on ground staff at the airport, and then did you just decide to interview and tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So I was looking for a job because I was really bored at the airport. Even though it was really fun with the people, where there are nice people, but I wanted to use English skill because my parents kind of like invested, but my parents paid too.
Good daughter.
Oh, yeah. But also like it was like something that I wanted. Okay, I don't know how to say it. I didn't really have like a strong interest in anything. So I studied English. So maybe like I might as well look for a job with English. And then yeah, I just found the listing and I applied and I got this job like on English speaking real estate. It was like originally for rentals. Yeah.
That show came out, Tokyo Swindlers. I don't know if anybody's watched it. I
No.
personally haven't watched it, but it's about kind of like scammy deals in the Tokyo real estate world. I don't know if people are getting scammed out a lot of money or a little bit of money, but it seems like there's like a deep network of like scams in Tokyo real estate world. Do you think that Japanese real estate is scammy market, or what's your general impression? You know much more. Taki and I have just scratched the surface, but you've seen both sides: the foreigner side, the Japanese side. Are there a lot of bad people in the market, or what do you think?
I personally don't have a bad experience. I've been working in this real estate industry for almost 5 years, and no, I don't have a
Have you seen a scam? Someone get scammed?
no,
Never?
not
Good
around
sign.
me. Yeah,
Great
not
sign.
around me. But I think in Tokyo it could be a little sketchy. I know like some sketchy things going on. If you're talking about it, it's like based on a true story. Yeah.
We've had two people in our adventure buying property here who have gone under pseudonyms, who have worked under not the
We're
real
really
name.
going straight forward here, Jerry.
Listeners of the podcast know who we're talking about here. Have you ever worked with anyone who's like gone by a different name that is clearly not their real name?
No,
Okay.
I've never seen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Work with Mika. You'll be sorted. It seems
Yeah,
like
yeah.
no sketchy stuff.
Mhm.
At this point, tell us a little bit about your real estate brokerage company you work for. I know you just switched over to a new company, right?
Yeah. So, how does it work?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So, like how the contract works, or how should I
So
answer?
I guess rewinding a little bit, a
Yeah.
lot of our Akiya Mart Direct agents, they have their own mini brokerages, so they're like one man teams. So it sounds like with your current company, you're working with like a big team. You have a lot of resources,
Yeah.
like legal support, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Right now, I'm working with a relatively a big company, and yeah, they hire like they work with like different freelance agents, and we share commission, and we like as an agent, all I need to do is show places, review the contract, and explain the contract to clients. Yeah, and then help them sign. But yeah, I have like a legal team backing up, and yeah, they make all the contract documents and check all the legal side. Yeah, and then I also have a personal like advisor at my company, and he can like help, or he like teach me how to do stuff, and yeah, answer questions I have. Yeah, stuff like
It
that.
actually sounds like a good company. We were brainstorming
Yeah.
yesterday. Do we build a competitor? But in the end, everything Mika explained to us, it actually sounds like quite a good company run by a good person.
Yeah, we worked
Yeah.
with mostly all our other agents are more kind of bootstrapped, smaller companies. So I think there's pros and cons, but the pros of working with Mika, I think, is you're working with a larger team, legal team. They will make sure everything is right. I feel like they definitely are experts
Yeah.
in some of these things, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's switch gears. I want to talk about this house.
Yeah.
Just for anyone listening for the first time, we've been talking to Mika. She's been working with us maybe for the past 6 months, 3 months, past couple months. And somewhere along the way, we're like, I don't know how it came up where you're like, are you guys interested in buying? Like, how did this happen? Do you remember? I actually don't remember. Did we ask you like, hey, do you have a house that you want to sell?
No. When we like first started like talking, maybe even like before working, I told you like I have an Akiya that's available. Like, would you mind listing this one? And then yeah, I gave you the details, and yeah, I think you got interested in buying yourself.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been on a street. I think we had just bought the Miyoko spot or something. So we were kind of looking for some of those, more Akiyas. And for us, Joey and I, our policy is a little bit like we are kind of just going with the flow. If we know someone there, if someone's reaching out to us, we take it as a sign just to be like, let's try it out. We do. Obviously, now we know a lot more about this area because of you versus us just like shooting a shot.
I was going to say, we don't really have a policy, but you're right. Buy where we know somebody seems to be. If we have a policy at all, like that is, rule number one.
Yeah. So this area, like we did not know what we were getting ourselves into, honestly. And we looked at Google Maps, but this place is like stunning. Like the ocean is awesome. Like, again, tell us a little about this area itself. I know you spent some of your childhood here, right?
Yeah, it's a really small area, like small community neighborhood. And probably the average age in this neighborhood is 70 to 80.
We're bringing it down now. Here we go.
Yeah, more younger people. And but everyone's really nice. Everyone's probably like kind of related. Yeah. And I'm like really surprised that people actually are interested in this kind of area because it's like so like in the middle of nowhere, no JR train, just buses. And
I would actually say 45 minutes from Nagasaki is
less than that.
Sorry, it was like
25 minutes to downtown Nagasaki.
25 minutes back to our downtown hotel. Yeah, with a car is, I would say not in like the perfect distance from downtown. I would actually argue it's very comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's like this is where I basically grew up. So having like mountains and ocean is like so normal. But yeah, I'm like, it's a new perspective that people actually appreciate these things. And I'm like realizing how lucky I am. So it's like I don't know, it's not really a description of this neighborhood, but
I think in California I have to drive 25 minutes to get anywhere. So I think the contrast is like Japan's infrastructure is so good that not having, being 25 minutes away, it seems like a bad thing, but in other parts of the world it's common. If not, I think it's really good.
25 minutes to the downtown of a prefectural capital city as well.
And then you can take a Shinkansen. We're very impressed with Nagasaki so far. I've converted Joey onto champon, which is like a how would you describe champon as a food? It's like,
you want my description or Mika's description?
I want your
let's hear Joey's description here.
I was initially against trying champon. I had it for the first time in my life yesterday, and it was actually really delicious. So I did flip 180. But my hesitancy with it is people get ramen. You look at ramen, you see the noodles, the veggies, the meat, the egg, and it comes like standard format or known items are in it. But with champon, it always just seemed like they just throw everything in it. There's seafood, there's meat, there's vegetables, there's noodles, there's random things in there. There's like the little baby corns sometimes.
I love the baby corn.
Just random stuff. So I was always just kind of like, it looks to me like they, a champon restaurant, they just take whatever's left over in the fridge, throw it on the soup, and like, there's your meal kind of thing. But I had it yesterday, and full 180, it was delicious. Broth was delicious. Noodles were great, thicker noodles. I haven't tried cheap champon. We went to a nice place, so
we're going to Ringer Hut after this, which is maybe known for cheaper champon. But I have a nostalgia thing. I used to get champon every Saturday at Ringer Hut in California, in between Japanese school in the morning and sotoban after.
Oh,
and my dad,
really?
My dad's like, "Go get champon. You're in Nagasaki." So did not disappoint.
What do you eat when you come back to Nagasaki? You said you mentioned you come back to Nagasaki area about twice a year. Is there any like restaurant you go to? Himawarite, maybe?
Let's talk about
only sometimes. Himawarite sometimes because it's like super heavy.
Okay. You do go back there? Okay.
Yeah. It's really close to my home. So yeah.
Anything else that you look forward to eating?
I told you I'm not really a ramen person, but I really loved Scenic.
I'm a big ramen person here. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a big ramen person here, but okay, Scenic.
Yeah. I loved Scenic, and there is a restaurant called Always. That Scimin's like really, really good.
We're going there right tonight, maybe.
Yeah. Another heavy food.
So we spoke to Mika's aunt and mom yesterday, and one question we asked her was like, any secret hidden spots that only locals know? I want to hear your answer. You also kind of, not this specific neighborhood, but kind of generally this
Nagasaki.
coastline. Like any hidden spots
Like
on your radar?
coastline?
Yeah, coastline or not. Something that only locals know.
I think Himawarite was the one. For anyone listening or watching, Himawarite is like spaghetti, kare, tonkatsu, all like combined.
One plate.
Toruko rice or
Toruko rice.
Turkish rice. And I'll have more questions about the cultural infusion soon. But
I thought Himawarite invented it, but we saw it at a different restaurant in Nagasaki. So this phenomenon's bigger than Himawarite.
Yeah, it's a thing here. Yeah, but many people don't really know about Toruko rice.
Sleeper.
Check it out.
All right. Other secret spots, or not secret spots, like Mika's
locals only
spots.
Okay, there is a place that's called it's kind of like a rest stop. Yeah, with like a store.
Okay.
Yeah, and there is one maybe like 20 minutes away from here. It has like the ocean view, like so beautiful, and you can see.
This is a grocery store?
No, it's like a highway.
There's like a local vegetable store kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, but that place I really love to go there, get an ice cream and eat the ice cream with the ocean view. Okay. You can also see Hashima, the battleship island.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Okay. You can see that too.
Gunkanjima.
You can also see sunset. Yeah, Gunkanjima. Yeah. That's a really nice spot. But sorry.
No. I think Nagasaki is like, I'm surprised. I've been here a couple times, but this time it was really after doing a lot more traveling. I just recently went to Portugal, and I see a lot of European influence here, and I think Nagasaki does a really good job of mixing kind of the foreign and do you feel that way?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. You told me like how it's like kind of like mixed, like the tiles and the design, and we have a lot of like stained glass. What is it called?
But the stained glass, I see a lot of the stained glass. I see the Castella is like a Portuguese thing. I see, the coastline looks like Lisbon, honestly. When we were driving back yesterday, I was like, whoa, this looks like Lisbon. The Chinese influence, like, why is there such a big Chinese influence here?
I guess like it's the same reason. Like one, it's like close to China, but also like in Japan there are 3 Chinatowns. One in Nagasaki and Kobe and Yokohama, and that's probably why we have that influence, and we were like open during the closed term
closed period. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. I appreciate the cultural diversity in Nagasaki comparatively to some other countries, and the train station is the biggest, most spacious, like the exact opposite of Shinjuku Station from like everything. Yeah,
they just like kind of like reconstructed the station. Yeah, so it's pretty new, and that area, the whole area is developing now. There is like a new stadium, and yeah, it's developing. Nagasaki is trying their best to bring back people.
You live right now in Tokyo.
Yeah.
And for someone who's looking at Tokyo, like, how would you convince them for Nagasaki? If they're kind of on the fence, Tokyo's too expensive. Like, what are some of the good points about Nagasaki that you would encourage a foreigner to look at down here?
I would say there is like a lot of history here. I mean, Tokyo too, but it's a different history. And I think I really like the mixed culture and the nature. I think the nature is the best thing here, and the food is good. Yeah. People are nicer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems less crowded too.
Yeah. In Tokyo, you need to like kind of like ice break first, and people start being nice to you or friendly to you. But in Nagasaki, even when you're walking, like people just come up to you and say hi. Yeah, it's like really nice. Yeah, I love that.
I definitely agree on the breathtaking scenery. Like when we drove out of that tunnel, we were like, whoa, this is crazy. And like the coastline is really not something I think people think of Nagasaki. They don't think of the coastline. And again, we're a couple minutes away from, I think, Kagurashima. We can see a view. It's like so cool being here.
The abandoned school I want to ask about.
Oh,
There's an
yep.
abandoned school. So Taki and I were walking around the house yesterday, and there's an abandoned school nearby, and it is
Right up above our house. We walked up the
Mm.
staircase.
right up above the staircase, and there's other Akiyas in this little town as well. And I feel like the neighborhood we dropped you off in seems like it's more kind of up and coming, but this area here's like a lot more new builds there. This
Mm.
area here kind of seems like it's going the other direction. Any thoughts on, I know this isn't your hometown, but you grew up nearby, any sort of thoughts about seeing certain parts of where you grow up fall into disrepair, like so much so that the school gets abandoned?
It's kind of sad. Yeah, like also like this house as well. Like, we used to have like a really big family, and in this town there used to be like an ice cream track, and yeah, it's like a really
Oh,
cute old memory. More like really many people lived here, and everyone kind of like moved out, and yeah, older people stayed, but they're like dying.
Oh,
And yeah, not many kids here. It's really sad. And yeah, but it's life. So yeah, it's not like the end of the world. But if like someone is interested in moving in here, or like use it as a vacation home or something, I think it'll be more like cheerful, and people are actually nice here, like pretty friendly. So if you get along and maybe like have a little like meals or something, that would be really cute.
do you think Tokyo's overcrowded? Do you think the government or somebody should try to incentivize more people to move into rural areas of Japan?
Yeah, I think so. And I think there are like some of the cities are trying. I'm not too sure about Nagasaki. I think they are. Yeah, that's probably why they're like trying to develop more and attractive for younger people.
What do you think it's going to take for people to not want to move to Tokyo? It just seems like it's relentless.
Well,
I can't. We're so crowded on the train, and then in that train station, I was just like, yes, I could do jumping jacks. I'm like, Nagasaki's where it's at.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, what was your
Like I
question?
guess from your perspective, I think jobs are one factor that's important. Like there's jobs in Tokyo, whereas like especially this neighborhood, difficult to
Yeah.
find a job here.
Mhm.
Is that like, you mentioned you moved to Tokyo for a job. Like,
Mhm.
do you think a lot of your peers here in Nagasaki
Mm.
did the same move or thought at least about it? Like, got to
Mm.
get out of Nagasaki.
Yeah, like people who want to like work in like a global situation, it's a little bit difficult to find anything like that in Nagasaki, I think. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question.
Hmm.
I don't think that. Yeah, it is a tough question. I think we got to buy the school up there,
Yeah.
make it the Akiya Mart headquarters, bring the global to Aigawa.
Yeah, yeah. I think yeah, everyone would love that here.
Question: how would we go about buying that school? I don't think we can. Like it's cool. Like we walked up there and it's big. It's really really big, and it
Yeah.
looks like it's in good condition. It's like a big
Okay.
dome, and it. How long has it been abandoned for?
I think when I went to high school, it was already closed.
Oh,
So
Oh, it's been abandoned for a while.
yeah,
you think
probably like
someone lives
more
in there
than
now?
a decade.
Think
Sorry?
someone lives in there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Raccoons.
We saw
Yeah,
a
yeah.
huge Inoshishi like boar. Like as we were walking up, it was like on the side of the mountain.
Uh-huh.
Like, have you seen those around here? That's crazy.
No.
Well, you haven't?
No,
we
not
saw.
around here.
Oh, we saw one just like right
We
up.
saw a
Yeah,
few yesterday.
Really?
yeah, they're
They're
huge.
They're big.
They're really big.
What?
Maybe
What, did you see it like without the car?
I'll send you a photo. Yeah, it was just like right there on the side of the road, or like,
Wait. How are you okay? Like
oh, is it supposed to? It's going to attack us.
yeah, I
they're
thought
aggressive.
so.
It was
I thought
far
so.
enough away. It was like ignoring us.
Okay.
We
Wow,
did-
that's scary.
We did an interview with someone from the Nikkei, and she was like, "That's one of the problems with Akiya or abandoned homes is that a lot of animals are coming in, and
Mm-mm.
I wonder if that school has some wild boars.
Yeah,
It could,
yeah. If
could
that's
be,
the
huh?
case, if you saw some, probably yes.
Okay, who owns that school? Like, how what's the government do? They're just like, it's abandoned. Let's just let it go, or
I think so. I think they need a budget to do something. So I'm pretty sure it's owned by the city. Yeah, Nagasaki City. Yeah, but there are so many like abandoned homes. And
How do we go about buying that a school? Let's hypothetically,
okay.
let's just say we want to make the X-Men Academy up there of Akiya Mart. How do we go about that?
Okay. We need to talk to Nagasaki City,
Mm.
I think, ask about it. Or maybe even like research online. Maybe there is some information about that.
Mhm.
Also, like my sister and her husband works in City Hall.
Good
Got the
chance.
plug.
Good
I'll
chance.
try to get the connection.
Okay. How much do you think that building costs? And we'll take a picture and we'll put it. We'll have take a drone shot or something.
It's also like probably the land doesn't cost that much. And the building is old, probably old,
Pretty
right?
old.
It's high up,
Yeah.
so the we'll film a video here so everyone can see the coastline. But the coastline here is absolutely stunning, rocky, sort of with beaches nestled in. And this school is high up on a hill overlooking all of that. I think the views from up there are probably incredible.
Right. Can you go with the car?
Yeah,
Go up
there's a
to
little
that.
road. We'll go right after this. We'll show you the
Okay,
road.
okay,
It's kind of
yeah.
a hike, but how much do you think? Like 100 million yen?
100 million?
100 million yen?
No, I don't think so.
50 million yen?
Maybe I need to see the size.
Okay. We'll come back to the quote.
If they're selling a samurai
don't-
house for $40,000,
Really?
the building is big. You have a
Yeah.
full on like stadium kind of thing. I don't know what we would do with it, but or someone someone listening to this might be interested.
yeah, I think maybe 30,000.
Okay.
My best guess.
Yeah. I don't think it would cost like 100 million yen. Yeah.
All right, Mika, switching gears here. How do you feel about us buying your family's house here? I know we asked this question to your family. They seem quite receptive, but like, be real. Like, are we, like, are you happy? Are you relieved?
Yeah.
Are you sad? Or like,
I'm actually happy about it because it's like you're like someone I know, and I know you're good people, and my family is also like pretty excited to be like for this house to be reused.
Yep.
Yeah, like not just going dead.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm really positive about it. I will miss this house, but yeah, it's like just a good one memory. Yeah, but I'm really happy it's like you can recycle this house. Yeah.
What did you think when your aunt first brought it? Like, hey, Mika, I need your help selling this house. Did you think it was going to be an easy sell, difficult sell?
No, I thought it was going to be really difficult because of the location. Yeah, but yeah, I was telling her actually like why don't you talk to the local real estate and
you're trying to pass it off to the local real estate company? Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like I was like at the time like quitting my company and like I don't really know what to do, but yeah, I was gonna ask you anyway because I know I have an experience of like people buying in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. It's interesting that you thought the location was a bad thing, and I think it's the best thing. Like, honestly, it's further away from the city. It's close enough. It's next to the ocean. It's like so quiet and like filled with nature here that like, I think there's a lot of those things in Japanese kind of thought versus foreigner thought that like, people don't think this house has value. We're like, whoa, this is such a good house comparatively what we can get.
I think from like a different perspective, it's like a really nice location, but this is like where I grew up and I always dreamed like I want to live in a big city and like not
Go to
these
coffee
like
shops
old
and stuff, cafes.
like not in this like old really like dying neighborhood. So I thought like okay, Japanese people wouldn't probably like this style.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of Japanese people want the new things. Is that we always tell them like, and it seems like we see as we drove up the road, there's obviously a lot of houses built in the 80s or 70s, but we go up and there's like a whole neighborhood of like new builds. And you think generally most people feel the same, that they don't want to like, how many people are interested in redoing these kind of homes, you think?
I personally haven't really seen anyone in Japan or like it's always like when people are interested in like foreign culture, because we don't really have DIY culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really do it ourselves. So yeah, I was really surprised when I first saw like, oh, we're gonna renovate by ourselves. Yeah, it's like, what? Is that possible?
I always wonder how much of that is truly like cultural and how much of that is, I heard from someone else, I can't remember who now, that you can't get a loan for an older house. You can't get a loan for an older car. So people just buy what they can get loans for, which is a new car and a new house. How much is
Mm.
actually cultural and how much is just economics? If you know the answer.
Yeah, I'm not really used to bank loans, so I can't really answer well, I think. But yeah, it's true that you can't really get a loan when you're older. Because, yeah,
So you mentioned that your house that you purchased is late 1980s,
Mhm.
right? Did the bank and
In
did you get
Tokyo.
in Tokyo?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got a loan for that house?
Yeah, I
Did
got a
they
loan.
like kind of look at the date and were like a little weird about it, or how did
No,
they didn't even?
I think one baseline is 81, like after the new construction law, yeah, started. So it was like still okay. I think the location's good. The building renovation history was like there. So I think, yeah, the age was not a problem.
Interesting to hear.
Putting my tinfoil hat on here. Okay. I've noticed over this past trip, like Japan is very follows the news. You know, if you see it on the news, including my dad, you know, morning curry, he eats
NHK.
curry every morning because it's like the cool thing. But I think Japanese people really rely on the news. And I know in the US, there's been a lot of misinformation. Like, do you think the government is kind of obviously, like, I think the government is steering people to be like, no, old homes bad, buy new homes because of economic activity, but also, you know, do you think the government is trying to like get rid of these old homes and encourage people to buy new homes? Is there something like that, you think?
I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
Sorry.
just a tinfoil hat. I'm like kind of like
I got
Yeah.
a tinfoil hat
Okay.
as well. We were talking about this in the car earlier on the ride up here, but I was once interested a few months ago looking into earthquake like standards, as Mika mentioned, the 1981 standard, and then another standard came out in the year 2000. And I wanted to know, all talking about properties were built before 1981. Like, how dangerous is this? Like,
except for this one. But this is built in
actually,
1980.
this is our first one.
Newest property here.
And I looked up a stat. There's a few different blog kind of websites that I looked at. They all reference this study done after the 2016 Kumamoto earthquakes. There were two earthquakes, M7 quakes. And the way this study was done, they said in the affected area, 30% of homes built before 1981 collapsed. So risk of death, 30% for homes built before 1981. And I mentioned this to an architect friend of ours, and immediately he was like, it's propaganda. He said it's government propaganda to scare people so that they want to buy new homes and build new homes. He said you can't rely on the government stats like that. And so he was like, in the affected area, they selectively picked an area to make the stats look bad.
Could sounds
Mm-mm.
maybe.
He is a very opinionated person. So, it's interesting to talk to somebody like that about these things.
Yeah, when you say that, I can believe it.
Okay. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
believe
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think, yeah, one thing I would say is Japanese like wooden homes are not really meant to last long, because
Mhm.
we always have like natural disasters. So yeah, I think I know it got like 1981, it got like the really strict rule, and people follow that rule. So it's probably safer if you're like in a newer house.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, me and Joey learned that same thing in
Mm.
California. We'll buy anything like 1960.
Right,
Joey's
right.
parents' house is like 100 years, 200 years old,
Quite
or
old,
something,
yeah,
right?
maybe
And
150.
in the Western culture, maybe they built things differently, but it's a combination of a lot of things. But I do agree with you more. You know, when we first started this venture at like 1980s, like no problem. But now that we see the construction quality, sometimes they just like put these houses on like cinder blocks. It looks like we've seen houses burned down. We're like, what? They just held it up on rocks. So
Rock, yeah, like a
Yeah.
rock
Yeah.
they find.
and every
Mm.
house is built the same. You know, we see the same green kind of sunekabe and like
Mm.
and there's no insulation. So
Yeah.
if if you were to tell me like one learning from the past couple of years that we've been doing this is like Japanese construction quality is lower than I had initially thought, with the impression of like Japanese quality currently.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, do buildings like appreciate the value in the US?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, you could
okay.
buy a shack in the Bay Area and like guarantee 10 years from now it's going to be like straight up.
It's like the
Wow.
main source of income for home, or not main source of income, but
One of them.
yeah,
Yeah,
big
good
draw.
investment.
Wealth
Yeah.
creation.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
All right, Mika, I want to talk about some of the customers you've had. You've been doing this for 5 years. What % are foreigners that you deal with?
100% now.
Okay, 100% foreign
100.
agent here.
Yay.
Wha-
But before, I had some Japanese customers too. Yeah.
What are some typical misconceptions or like things you want to tell these foreigners that, like, again, real estate's very different outside of Japan? Like, what are some common things that you want to tell them now before they start the process with us?
That's a good question.
Or things to think about, like, you've dealt with so many customers at this point that are foreigners. What are some common themes that you're like, dang?
Just like check the fees maybe. Yeah, that could be a really serious issue. So yeah, we have like a lot of fees here. I don't know like overseas, but yeah, we have like agency fees. Like both sides have to pay agency fees and ownership transfer and blah blah blah. Yeah, and I always try to make sure about that first. Yeah, and the travel cost and like viewings and stuff like that. But yeah, it's possible to buy real estate as a non-resident. That's like a
We did it.
Yeah, that's probably a little different from other countries sometimes. So yeah. Probably your viewers know that already.
We try to hammer that in, like, hey, if you're buying a $4,000 house, this is how much it's going to cost after closing costs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you have anything like that? Like any like advice for your viewers?
I'll go first and pass it to Joey. I think the big thing we've realized we've talked a lot about this on the trip, is like we own 5 properties, but we've made $0. So if you are doing this to like try to make money, in the US is very common to, hey, let's buy this house or rent out each room. Like we'll get this ROI. I think it's not a good place to invest in that perspective if money is your top metric. I would say for us, it's like if you want the lifestyle, if you want to be able to explore new restaurants and get, Turkish rice here in Nagasaki or nut champon and like have this kind of adventure, it's for you. We're currently sitting in like what was a cold room. We literally bought a kerosene heater down here. It's not
drill, baby, drill.
Yeah,
fossil fuels.
It's not comfortable. This is not a comfortable process. I think if you're looking to buy an Akiya is what I'd say.
Yeah. I feel like so many people are so used to DIY. So yeah, maybe like these like little things you need to prepare yourself. But yeah, people think like you can start living in Akiya immediately. But yeah, get a hotel.
You can't.
Some of our clients.
We could live here tonight, I think.
Yeah, potentially.
This is doable. This is better than our other properties. But Joey, misconceptions.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Mika said real quick. Yeah, I do think that some Akiya you can live in right away, but some you can't.
If your budget's high enough.
Yeah, if your budget is high enough. Advice to people looking to get into this is that very much echo what Take said. You have to really love Japan for this to be an enjoyable process. I think Take and I spend a lot of time in rural areas, small towns of Japan. There's no stores in this town. There's a vending machine. I think there's a lot of moments where there's friction in the process of like renovating your house or doing simple things that you might expect to be simple. And if you enjoy hanging out in Japan and, visiting the hardware store, visiting the local city government for document, or just if you enjoy Japan, this will be a great way to spend more time in the country and kind of have a mission while you're there and go on a little bit of an adventure. And I feel like both Take and I came into it with that type of spirit, and it's worked out really well. So if, again, as like I said, it's not an ROI play, we haven't made any money off of it, but I think like if you just want to spend more time in Japan, have a mission while doing so. Like that's what Taki and I are doing, and it's been quite a fun process.
Mika,
Yeah.
who are not the right people to come to Japan? Like who, as a Japanese local, like who do you not want to come here? Like again, we talked to a lot of people, a lot of different backgrounds. Like who do you not want to come to this neighborhood, for example?
Maybe like someone who wouldn't really like be interested in learning Japanese culture or like be friends with the locals. Yeah. But I think that's like not like really common. Yeah. People who buy properties here probably interested in Japan. But yeah, I think I've seen people who complain or like don't really like the life here and leave. They don't really like try to learn. I don't know. It sounds so condescending. I don't.
No, say it. Like it's good to
Yeah.
hear it. Like honestly, and I think I know where you're going.
Okay. Yeah, they probably try to learn some Japanese, easy Japanese, but yeah, it's really different. Like I've lived overseas and it's so different. People are different too, and the culture is so different. If you're like not ready to get into this culture, I think it's a little difficult. And yeah, I don't know. Like just using as a vacation home, it's probably a fun place for almost anyone. Yeah. But as Joey said, it's like so countryside. There is like really not like no store here. You need to drive maybe like 10 minutes to get to like the nearest convenience stores. Yeah. So yeah, you need to like understand that.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something we try to screen out with our Akiya Mart direct process. We want to make sure people, we have a lot of people reach out to us. They're like, I've never been to Japan. I want to go. We're like, you should spend some time there. Actually, kind of thinking about that question, like if we have someone like that who's been like, I went to Japan once, I'd love it. What would you say? Are they okay to buy here? Or would you say, go spend a couple months? Like, what would you advise there?
Just buying a house is good. Like it's okay. But I would also recommend to visit that place, that neighborhood, at least once or twice. Yeah. Because if you don't really like it, it's not easy to resell it. Yeah. It went like, especially it's like a countryside property. Yeah. So I would recommend, but I know everyone has like budget. So
we did the opposite. Okay. We did the opposite. We took a gamble.
That's a great point about reselling, though, that, these homes are cheap for a reason. There's a lack of demand. If you did want to exit out of your investment, could be quite difficult.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. We did the opposite, but we took a gamble, and I think you were scaring us out of it a little bit. You're like, it's really countryside. And we're like, no, we're going for it. And we got lucky. So I will say, we do tell people like sometimes action's better than inaction. I think there's just so many Akiyas. There's so many cool places. Japan, like, yeah, every town has its pros and cons. And for us buying here, it was a no-brainer because you were helping us and we knew kind of the area. You were helping us hook up with a property manager. And yeah, I think this is an A deal in my opinion. Like looking at the ocean and everything around it. We got the best parking spot we've ever had out of all our properties. Like we can go straight into it. Every one of our properties is like, we got to like Jenga in, and it's, so, I mean, thank you for offering us and helping us get this property.
Yeah.
I think
thank you for buying this property. I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminded me of another thing that we get asked sometimes in the consults is like, well, if the population is aging and there's more and more Akiyas every year, should I buy now, or why not just wait 10 years, 5-10 years to buy and then get it cheaper, get it for cheaper? And, just with the discussion we just had, I think that's the wrong attitude to bring to this, in the sense that like, as we kind of all agreed, you have to love Japan to kind of make this whole adventure work. And if you like, just get started today if you love Japan, kind of thing. Like, it's the wrong sort of way to think about the problem in your head if it's all about money and getting a cheaper deal in 5 years' time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's cheap. already.
Cheap already.
Yeah.
This house would definitely cost $500,000. I
Yeah,
believe
that's
in.
unbelievable.
I mean, when we said that to your aunt, I was like, oh, yeah. Like they're like, what? But it's true. Like the ocean's right here. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. We can jump in the water right now. We're not going to. We thought about it.
I brought my bathing suit today.
Yeah, it's a little colder than I thought it was going to be. It was snowing this morning in
Yeah,
Nagasaki.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah, my mom was seriously worried about it.
okay, really? Your mom?
Yeah. Are they gonna really swim?
Her mom's calling us out. Like, we doing this or?
Yeah, I'm gonna film you if you
Okay.
really do.
Okay. Mika, I guess in Japan, just broad question. We have a lot of people being like, I want to invest in Tokyo or I want to invest in Nagasaki. Like, what other areas are you excited about? Like, if you were investing from a vacation home or relocating from Tokyo, what other areas of Japan would you consider that are less known? Nagasaki's the top one, I'd say too.
Yeah, Nagasaki for sure. But one of my favorite places in Japan is Kurashiki.
Where's that?
It's in Okayama. It's like one of these like old town looking,
Kominka
but
kinda.
yeah, it's more like the vibe is like kind of like Kyoto. They're like their architecture is really interesting. It's like mixed with like brick and like some like European looking buildings and the Japanese looking buildings, and it's like really beautiful with the canal. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. They have a Minpaku ordinance in Kurashiki. I recognize that name. So maybe it is like a very nice town that they added extra rules on.
Yeah. It's like really close to Kansai area, and there is Shinkansen, and there is no Shinkansen here. So the convenience is there. Yeah, I really love the vibe there. It's not that like busy. Yeah.
Kurashiki.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like that place.
Okay. Is Japan, like, how is Japan? I see that they had some deals where if you fly into Japan, you can get a free domestic flight. Like, what is the government doing to kind of spread out tourism from Tokyo? Do you know, or?
I guess like Shinkansen is one.
Okay.
It's like so easy. I know like they have like a JR pass for foreigners or something. Yeah, I think it's a good deal. And I don't know. They're like trying to expand Shinkansen area. Like we're trying to have it. It's like not going well, but
It's
I
not
know
going
like
well.
no.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Tama, and we need one in Tama is our goal. Tama, come on.
Yeah, but there is probably one in Hokkaido as well. Yeah, so it's like really convenient. It's so easy to like go around Japan. I recently talked about it with someone. Yeah, it's like in America you need to fly like 5 hours to get to like the next destination. In Japan, the maximum flight you have is probably like 2 hours. Yeah, it's really easy. Shinkansen is really fast too. Yeah.
Me and Joey just did a podcast on this a little bit. We're talking about the ferries. I think the ferries are underrated. We took a ferry from Beppu or Osaka to Beppu.
Yeah,
it's like a floating hotel.
So good.
Yeah, there is also a pet room, and
really?
on the ferry. Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah, cagey room. Oh, there was I was like, cage room? But it was for pets.
Yeah, there is also like a dog park on the ship and kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Japan's doing a lot of things right. I hope it'll bring more people down to Nagasaki.
Yeah, yes, please.
Any final words to a listener here? Most of the folks are, Japan curious, are looking at Akiya's, following our mistakes and journey here. Any advice or any words to the audience before we close this out here?
Okay. Japan is a beautiful place. Even if you haven't visited, I can guarantee that it's if you're ready, it's a good choice to buy a house now. Now that like the Japanese yen is really, really cheap. Yeah, it's a good time. And just visit Japan. Yeah, we are welcome. And cool. I don't know how to say it.
Mika is one of our all-star Akiya Mart Direct preferred agents. So if you are interested in buying a property, she could be one of the people we match you up with. If you are listening to this and want to get matched to Mika, we can prioritize that too. Mika lives in Tokyo, but you service everywhere. Is there anywhere in Japan you're like, no way?
No, anywhere. Like really anywhere. I would go anywhere.
Great. Cool.
Mm.
Well, Mika, thank you for selling us your childhood home here
you.
or your grandma's home.
Smooth process.
Smooth. It's
Yay.
no problems. Mika was our agent for this actually. So we trialed her first just to make sure, she's got the chops. But Mika, yeah, we're really excited to be here. Thankful to be working with you and excited to help people buy more Akiya.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's check out the school.
Ooh, yeah. I'll show you the wild boars up there too.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Oh, yeah. I swear, there's a huge one up there.
Yeah.